We really believe in collaboration, and I'm glad that the sheriff is here because we can take all of his individuals who are coming out who live in the Woodline, Inglewood, just send them right over to us. We'll take all of them, and we'll take every single one of them, and we do it, and I'm grateful. We do it without government funding. We have not received government grants. We don't take government grants, nor do I want a government grant to run our programs, because I really do believe that that breeds a lot of the competition between a lot of the non-for-profits. They're always trying to get the grant. They're always trying to get the finances to stay afloat. And with it, when that happens, it causes some animosity. And so we've decided we're not going to take government grants so that we can collaborate with other organizations, and so they don't see us as a threat to their financial portfolio, but they see us as a partner who really wants to do something to enhance the neighborhood. And so that's how we go about it.
We're down to our last couple of minutes. I'm just interested, you know, you've all talked about and understandably, about kind of the magnitude of this challenge and not to expect instant solutions, but what do you think are reasonable near-term goals for your community, for the city? What should people in Chicago hold their leaders accountable for achieving over the next 2 or 3 years?
We'll start with you.
That was pretty cool, the way it just went right down the... Exactly. I don't know if there's anybody over you can turn to the audience and ask them.
Yeah, I think that the people within the city of Chicago have to hold all of the elected people's feet to the fire. Because I'll just be honest with you, I'd love to give you this statement that all of the different elected people care. They don't. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, the reality is most of these issues are well known. They've been around for a while. But the amount of people actively engaged with it are not a lot. So we have to start by holding the elected people accountable by saying, listen, we're going to set what are modest goals, which are going to see decrease in shootings, decrease in homicides there. So let's start with that. And then we're going to have a protracted reinvestment in these communities so that I have places I can hand people off to more readily. So that we look at it as that I always tell people, in my jail, probably, I don't know, 30%, 20%, take your pick, are evil. Don't know how they got there, but they're evil people. The 70, the biggest percent, we can work with them. We can fix them. They're people who've made mistakes. Made mistakes that, frankly, if I made the same mistake, I would have had someone bond me out. I probably might not have even been arrested in the first place. But so this larger group, we can fix them with just thoughtful plans that have metrics attached to them, like what Liz is doing, that have the handoff. So I work with them inside. We hand them off to someone who stays connected to them. So this is all really doable things, and the public has to hold this, starting with the numbers of the homicides and the shootings, so that there's some faith it's going in the right directions and change people's mentalities.
Unless you want to add something, I think that's a, do you want to add a thought about?
Only thing I would add on to that, I agree with like the decrease in shootings and homicides and those things, but I also think we have to hold our leaders accountable for investing in our educational system. And I've said this about 4 times on this panel, but I think it's absolutely critical for most of our young people. That is the only pathway out for them to have a more productive life. I think that's important as well.
You get the last word.
Okay. I think investment into the community, giving people an opportunity regardless of what color they are, regardless of whether they live on the south side, north side, or west side of Chicago. Until we give opportunity to everyone, then we're going to continue to see the violence, and we need to make sure that we hold all of our elected officials, just making them be more accountable. I always tell our church, people don't do what you expect, they do what you inspect. And so we need to continually inspect our leaders and make sure that they're following through on what they said they're going to do.